Hello everyone, welcome to another cooking class sponsored by Healthy Mothers, Healthy Babies. My name is Chef Dulce Jimenez from Dulce Aromas, and I am so excited that you're here with me today. It's summer, right? We're feeling it here in South Florida, and I love a grill burger, but there's no way that I will be grilling outside. So today I'm gonna do some indoor grilling and giving you tips on how to make burgers with fries better for you. These cooking classes are focused on low salt, low fat, and whole foods that are going to nourish your body and give you satisfaction, and you're going to love it too because it's going to be delicious. You're not going to miss anything from a regular burger. Okay, so let's start with the meat for the burgers, which is the most important thing. And I'm going to get it from the refrigerator because I am having them a little bit cold. I like them to be a little bit hard, and I'm going to get them right now. Okay, so every burger that you make, the most important thing is the meat that you're using. And today I'm using a mixture of turkey and pork ground. And the only thing you need to do for this burger is salt and pepper. Because I have turkey, I usually put a little bit more other stuff, maybe garlic powder, onion powder, a little bit of paprika. Sometimes I put a little bit of soy sauce if I'm making just turkey burger. But because it has a little bit of ground pork, just a little bit, I have a pound of turkey, ground turkey, um, not completely lean. Is the one that has a little bit of fat, and I will say 3 tablespoons or 4 tablespoons of ground pork. And I'm going to mix this too really well with my hands. Usually I do this with my hands, but I don't want to do it with my hands now so I don't waste time going and clean my hands. So I'm going to mix it with my hands well, not to overdo it because I don't want a tough burger. So I just mix it with my hands to mix the salt and the pepper and the garlic powder and the onion powder. And if I put a little bit of soy sauce, I mix it. Then I'm going to make meatballs. This is what I'm going to be making, meatballs. And to give you a tip, the best way to handle your ground beef or ground turkey is to mix them with your hands wet. You can wear gloves, or even if you don't wear gloves, having your hands wet is going to facilitate to do the meatballs. Okay, so I have my meatballs done. I want them at room temperature, but not too, because we are in such a hot weather. I don't want it. You can't leave them out for a long period of time. And like any grill, this is an amazing indoor grill that you can use it as a panini or just as a flat surface. As any other grill, I will put a little bit of avocado oil in paper towel, and I'm going to clean it. Although this is non-stick, I always do this in both sides to make sure it is not dry and my food is not going to stick. Okay, so that's the first thing I'm going to do to work on my burgers. I'm not putting any oil or anything. I'm going to put the meatballs And immediately I put the meatballs. I think you're looking at it. I'm going to smash them. I'm going to have to use help from my spoon. I'm going to smash them. I'm going to smash this one. Oh, I don't like this spatula because it's mashing taking the meat. Okay, so I'm going to smash them well. Hopefully you have a spatula that doesn't have holes like mine. And this is medium-high heat. And I'm going to smash it well. And you do that when it's still raw. You don't want to do the burgers, you don't want to smash the burgers when they started to cook because then you get all the juices out of it. So, good. They're smashed. Now I'm going to let them cook for about 7 minutes per side. I want it well done. You need your burgers well done. Okay. So, while I'm cooking my burgers, I'm going to make my veggies, grilled veggies. I love grilled veggies. And the good thing about making things healthier is that you can add a lot of things, right? You can add things that are going to be nourishing, nutritious, fulfilling, and with almost 0 calories. So I'm going to have red onions. I chopped the red onions a little bit thick. And I'm going to use the other side of the grill to put my vegetables. And they have nothing. But I'm going to tell you what I'm going to put in it now. I'm going to put some bell peppers. I love bell peppers grilled. And I'm going to put some jalapenos so I can give some spiciness and crunchiness in my burger. So what do we always want? We want crunchiness, colors, textures, combination of flavors, sweet, salty, tangy, spicy. All those things, when you combine those things, you will always win, honestly. You're always going to have something amazing. Okay? So I have my vegetables in one side and the meat in the other side. And then here I have liquid amino in spray. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray my vegetables and my burgers with this amino to give a little bit more flavor. Instead of putting oil, I hit them with flavor. Okay. So, another amazing condiment for burgers. I love burger with everything. With pickles, with tomatoes, with onions, with, mustard, ketchup. I want my burgers with everything. So instead of using pickles, something different that I'm making here is I am brining some cucumbers. So I have some cucumbers. I cut them in very thinly sliced. I put them in soy sauce, a little bit of rice wine vinegar, and a drop of sesame oil. So I am brining this, so when I'm ready to do my burger, it's going to be soft and tangy and delicious. Okay, so I have all my components in the grill. Now I'm going to make my sweet potatoes. Actually, you should make the sweet potatoes before, but I wanted to start grilling the meat because the sweet potatoes are almost done. But I want to teach you something. So these are fries. We're mimicking potato fries. The sweet potatoes are more, they have more nutrition. They have more fiber than the potatoes, and they're less starchy. So I like to use white sweet potatoes. My husband, I just cooked this same meal a little bit earlier to have it ready for him. He couldn't believe this was regular. It was not regular potatoes. He thought it was just French fries. So that's the good thing when you're making white potatoes for your kids. Plus also they come really big and it's easier to cut them. So I clean them with a brush. I don't peel them. And what I do is I cut them in thick slices, and then I cut them in thick batons or sticks. And this is how I put them in the oven. I'm going to put them in a cookie sheet and I just spray them with coconut oil in spray, or canola oil in spray, or avocado oil in spray. And the trick is to make them really separated, so the air circulate between them and they get crispy. I'm going to show you in a second. So I already have my sweet potatoes, and I'm going to put them about an inch or so apart. If you need to use 2 or 3 baking sheets, that's great. You can prepare them and start baking them a little bit earlier. This will take, when you separate them very well, it will take 20 minutes. When they take longer, it's because they are too crowded. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray them with a little bit of my coconut spray or canola, and I like to put a little bit of pepper, ground pepper. You can also put a little bit of paprika, and I'm going to put it in the oven, 400 degrees, and you're all going to get the recipe. So I have my burgers cooking, my sweet potatoes in the oven. I'm going to flip the burgers. They have been already. I'm going to check that I want them already with color. Okay, I'm going to flip them. Great, they're awesome. And all that fat is coming into the tray. This indoor grills has usually tray that pick up all the grease, which I love. I'm going to turn my, ooh, there has such an amazing color in my vegetables. And when you grill your vegetables, they get sweeter. Wow, I love it. The vegetables are almost done. I'm going to put another splash of the liquid aminos. Love that. The house smells like like an outdoor, right? Like a park. I'm grilling in the park without the heat. Okay, so I think I'm going to get the vegetables out. Yeah. Let me take the vegetables out. They look amazing. I don't want them to get burned. Awesome. So I have here the grilled vegetables, the whole wheat bread, and lettuce already prepared for my burgers. And the way I eat them is I put half of the bread and the other half I put lettuce. So I don't need both sides of the bread. So I'm saving a little bit of calories there. Okay. So when the burger's finished, I'm gonna make 3 things now. I'm gonna make 2 salads and a sauce for my burgers. This here is about a tablespoon of mayo, a teaspoon of mustard, a teaspoon of ketchup, and red pepper dressing. I did a red pepper dressing a few days ago, and what I'm going to do, because that red pepper has garlic, it has already has salt and pepper, it has nutritional yeast, has miso, it has all those flavors, and I'm going to make this special sauce that is going to be for my burgers. And what you could do this, you can just mix just the mayonnaise, the mustard, and the ketchup, and you can grate some garlic or put a little bit of lemon juice and a little bit of soy, and you make an amazing sauce which is different. It's not just plain mustard and or mayo, and you use less mayonnaise. You can also put some yogurt in this. Okay, so I have my sauce ready. Now we're going to make the salad. So my burgers are almost done. I like them well done. And because this is turkey and pork, it needs to be really cooked at least until 165 degrees. So I like my burgers really well cooked. Okay, so now we're gonna start with the slaw. And coleslaw, I love coleslaw because cabbage lasts forever. You can have a big head of cabbage or 2 half, which is what I do when I go to Whole Foods. They allow you to get half of white cabbage and half of purple cabbage because I want color, always color and different texture, different flavors. The white cabbage has a different flavor than the purple. So what I do is I get my cabbage first and I put a little bit of salt in them. And I mix them with a touch of salt. And if you don't want to eat, or if you have hypertension and you want to avoid the salt, you can avoid that step. Or you can put a little bit of sea salt, which is algae, dry algae. And they give a little bit of seasoning, or also low salt that comes also, and or no salt. So there are a few options that you can use. But in this case, I don't need it, so I put a little bit of salt. And what it's going to do is it's going to soften the cabbage a little bit. Okay, and I'm going to, while my cabbage gets softened, I'm going to do my carrots and the dressing. Okay, so I need a shredder for my carrots, which I thought I had in here. It was a second, guys. So like I was saying, while my cabbage is getting happy there with the salt, I'm going to shred my carrots. And you can shred them, or you can buy them already shred, but if you're going to buy them already shred, make sure you get them organic. And you want to have a good balance between the 2 different cabbages and the carrot. That's the key of your slaw. You don't want to have a lot of cabbage or a lot of carrots. You want a good balance between all of them. And the extra stuff that we're going to put is going to make it extra special, obviously. Because coleslaw is not an exciting salad, right? I'm going to get my burgers out. They're already done. Ooh, I love them charred. That's fantastic. That's exactly how I want my burgers. Awesome. I'm going to put my burgers on the side. And I'm going to close this. I'm going to turn it off. Okay. That way I have more space. Now, so I'm doing the vegetables first. And you can do this the day before, guys. You can have your vegetables already mixed and covered with plastic. And then you don't have to do this step or all the steps at the same time. Okay. Now I have my cabbage, and you can see I have a good proportion of all of them. Now I'm going to put red onions very thinly and scallions very thinly sliced. Okay, so I have the components of the salad here: red cabbage, white cabbage, shredded carrots, very thinly sliced red onions, and thinly sliced scallions. Now, and the cabbage has a little bit of salt. Now I'm going to make the dressing. The dressing for the coleslaw is super easy to make and it's delicious. It's mayonnaise, mustard, apple cider vinegar, celery salt or celery seeds, salt and pepper, and a little bit of maple syrup. But because mayonnaise has a lot of fat, mayonnaise is made with the egg yolks, and commercial mayonnaise also has fat in it. So I make it with plain Greek yogurt, like a quarter of a cup or half a cup. You're gonna get the recipe, but usually is a quarter of a cup or half a cup of mayonnaise, or in this case yogurt, then a teaspoon or tablespoon of mustard, and I put 1 tablespoon of mayonnaise, so very little. And the only thing you need to do with this is actually mix it. Mix it well. And so the components are apple cider vinegar. That's going to be the acid. I teach you every time we do dressing. All dressings has to have some component of acidity, flavor, something that has some fat in it. In this case, we have the yogurt, we have the mayo, so I am not putting any oils in this dressing. We're adding celery seeds or celery salt, which gives us that distinctive flavor to the coleslaw. I'm going to add some fresh ground pepper and a little bit of salt, but really you don't need the salt. And the secret ingredient, real maple syrup, not that syrup that you use for the pancake, guys. Real maple syrup. I'm going to put like a teaspoon. It's just balance the acidity with the sweetness. In all the dressings, you need to balance the acidity with some, can be can be a little bit of sugar. But when you're making dressings, look at an amazing dressing for your slaw. You always have to balance the acidity, and you don't need any extra fat in this dressing. I'm going to take a taste. Always taste it before you put it in your salad. Wow, delicious. I can taste the apple cider. The maple syrup diminished the hardness. The celery salt, amazing. You have to try this dressing. I know you're going to love it. Okay. Now, when you're mixing creamy dressings with your salads, my suggestion is to use a big bowl. So I have a big bowl here. This is still a little. So I have a big bowl. I'm going to put it in a big bowl. And you start putting the dressing and mixing. You don't put all the dressing at a time. You always put half, and then you mix it, and then you see if you need a little bit more. And burgers need something creamy, right? But we don't want it creamy fattening or, you know, with empty calories. So here you have whole milk Greek yogurt in your dressing, which is giving you protein, calcium. So your dressing is actually good for you. So a little bit more. I think I'm going to put it all, but I go little by little, guys. Because the last thing you want is super dressed soggy salad. Although the slaw, even though the slaw goes well with creamy, you want to be, you know, doing things. It's better to add than ruin it because you put too much. And the coleslaw will last 2 days, 2 to 3 days. But we love coleslaw in this house. And I'm going to put a little bit more of pepper. And another secret ingredient is roasted pepitas, which are pumpkin seeds. I love this. And you can add also more green scallions. And you can also add chives, even cilantro if you want to give some color in some fresh herbs. This is your slaw, so you make it the way you want it. So I have a lot of pumpkin seeds. You can also add some raisins into it. I actually make one that is with raisins. Kind of the same thing. Okay. Again, always taste. I'm going to give it a taste. Fantastic. I'm going to put it in a nice plate to serve. So now I'm going to make the second salad, and first I'm going to start with the dressing. So the formula to make your vinaigrette, always the same formula. Equal amount of equal amount of acid and equal amount of fat. If you want to keep the fat low. However, if you don't mind a little bit extra fat because you have been using, you know, no fat at all in other areas in the meal or in the dish, then you can have the perfect amount is 2 to 4 times oil to 1 time acid. For example, if I'm going to put, where's my apple cider? This is what it means, right? If I'm going to add one time acid. Acid is the apple cider. It's 1 tablespoon. So double the amount will be 2 tablespoons of the oil. And that will emulsify it. Double the amount. If you put 2 tablespoons, then you will put 2 tablespoons of apple cider, 4 tablespoons of the oil. Okay, in this case, I'm gonna make just a little bit. And this is a good olive oil, extra virgin. So flavorings, I'm going to have cumin. I love cumin with apple cider. But cumin is very strong. So you just put a touch of cumin. We're going to put a touch of fresh garlic. And I love this. This is microplane. What you do is that really crush the garlic. You see those little pieces of garlic come in there? I love that. It's better than the garlic press. I like this one better. And you don't waste. So I'm not going to put a lot of garlic. It's just like a kiss of garlic. That's the flavoring. Okay. Just a touch of the garlic. Another thing to make your dressings creamy, which I use a lot, is mustard. And I have brown spicy mustard organic. Put a touch of that. Again, to balance the acidity, a touch of maple syrup. And I'm going to put very little this time because I'm putting very little of the apple cider. Just to balance it. You can also put fresh lemon juice or lime juice. I really like the lime juice in this salad. We're making a watermelon and feta salad. It's a play on a Greek salad. I love to put a little bit of lime or lemon juice, just also for flavoring and to waken up the flavors in the watermelon. Okay, this is a little bit of oregano. I'm going to put a little bit of oregano. Always when you're using dry herbs, you have to crush it. Right. Put it in there. And I'm going to, I love these little bottles to do little dressing and then mix it very, very well. You can see it's emulsified. You don't see the separation of the oil and the vinegar. Again, always try taste your dressings before you put it in your salad. Oh wow, excellent. So a little bit acidic because I put the lemon also. So I'm going to put an extra touch of the maple. But remember that we're using this for watermelon salad. And watermelon is sweet and it's in season and it's almost 0 calorie. And that's an amazing. I have this. Instead of buying a whole watermelon, you can have this beautiful piece of watermelon. They only give you like 1/4 of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it in the same way they come, like in starch. But when you're making any salad or any food, take out anything that you are not going to eat. So I'm going to cut it in slices and I'm going to take out the peeling, the skin. You know that you can have a pound of watermelon or 2 pounds or 3 pounds of watermelon. It has almost 0 calories and it's mostly water. You get full, you get a lot of fiber. This is an amazing salad that you can make for Sunday brunch, for your family, for the kids. Maybe for the kids you take the feta cheese out, but it's delicious. Okay, so here I have it. And it's a very simple salad. The components are black olives that I, cut in half. Roasted red peppers that you can also buy in a pouch or in a jar, or you can roast yourself. I love roasted red pepper. You can have some chickpeas on this. And I love to buy the feta cheese. Feta cheese is briny and delicious and has less calorie, less fat than other cheeses. And it's used a lot in Mediterranean cooking. And I like to buy them in blocks that comes with the brine, the water, and cut it myself because it lasts longer, it's less salty than the one you buy already crumbled. And then I'm going to crumble on top of it, on top of your watermelon, as much as little as you want. And I'm going to dress it. This is a salad that if you're going to dress and you put the cheese, you have to eat it right away. And obviously for something green, we're going to add some chives or basil, which is really good, or scallions. I'm going to have a little bit of sage. Sage is a little bit strong. I will not recommend put sage, but that's what I have at hand. And I'm going to put a little bit of the sage. Sage is a very strong herb, but I want to get those color in it. Always, you have to balance it with some color. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? And you get the sweetness of the watermelon, the tart and the brininess of the cheese, and the sweetness of the roasted pepper, and also the briny and tanginess of the olives, plus the dressing that has apple cider, maple, a little bit of mustard, and that cumin in the background. It's an amazing salad. Okay, so let's finish our dinner with our sweet potatoes. And what we're going to do with the sweet potatoes is I have put a little bit of, to make it flavorful, guys, because we want flavor and color in every bite and in every dish. So I have taken some rosemary. Rosemary is a hard herb. So when you're using rosemary raw, you need to chop it really, really well. And oh my goodness, the smell. So I chopped rosemary well. And I put a little bit of the garlic the same way I did it for the dressing, with a little bit of olive oil. Okay. And I'm going to mix, oh, I had a spoon in here. I'm going to mix this oil 2 or 3 tablespoons of olive oil with rosemary and garlic. And I'm going to drizzle in my sweet potato fries. That's going to put it to another level. You're going to do that as soon as you take them out of the oven when they're still hot, so they soak all that flavor. So as soon as you get your sweet potatoes out of the oven, I'm going to put it in a bowl and I'm going to season it with salt, pepper. You can also use sea seasonings, which is great, instead of salt or both. And immediately I'm going to drizzle them with the oil infused with rosemary and garlic. And we're talking about 1 or 2 tablespoons here, so you're not putting a lot of oil. But this is going to make such a difference because they're soaking all this flavor now that they're hot. And actually, they look also amazing as well. And these are going to be very different. You can even sprinkle a little bit of that feta cheese on top. But these are amazing. Wow, they're hot. They're so delicious. Here you have it. I'm gonna put a tiny bit more salt. I'm gonna put olive oil. Yes. Again, this is a whole sweet potato, and you're just putting like 1 or 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Okay, guys, so we're ready to plate. So now you have your watermelon salad, your slaw, your white sweet potato with a garlic, rosemary oil. They were fried in the oven. You have your turkey, ground turkey, and a little bit of ground pork, or you can put ground beef as well to give a little bit of flavor and fat into the turkey burgers. But I love turkey burgers with nothing. You just need to heavy season them. That's the difference. And we have another component here, which is pickled cucumbers that you pickle yourself with apple cider or rice vinegar and soy sauce. Of course, tomatoes. Everybody wants tomatoes, right, for your burgers. And again, what I always tell you is season absolutely everything. So if I'm going to put tomatoes in my burger, I'm going to season my tomatoes. So I'm going to build my burger with a combination sauce. It could be a little bit of yogurt or mayonnaise, mustard, ketchup, and I had a roasted red pepper dressing in the refrigerator, which I use, but you can just flavor it with any other flavorings you have in the house. And I'm going to take half of my whole wheat bread, and I'm going to put a good tablespoon of the sauce. That's on top of the sauce. I'm going to put my burger, and on top of my burger, I'm going to put the roasted vegetables that we cooked along with it. So I have red onions. I have some jalapenos. Actually, I'm going to put the yellow peppers that are very sweet and delicious. You can even make a burger just with vegetables. You can make a portobello mushroom, same way we did the meat. So I'm putting some, and then you just put the vegetables and your portobello mushroom. You season your portobello mushroom as well, like if it was a piece of burger. Same way. So I have some jalapenos in there. Look how awesome is that. I have jalapenos. And I don't eat raw tomatoes, so that was for my husband, but you can have your tomato. Just season it. I have my pickled cucumbers, fresh pickled cucumbers. And what I do is, instead of putting another bun, what I do is I put lettuce. I put a little bit more of the sauce, and I make it with my lettuce. And you can buy those, I'm gonna put the lettuce later when I'm gonna eat it, right? But you can buy those lettuce, iceberg lettuce that is like a cup, and you can put your burger there and wrap it better, because these are romaine, so you can wrap the burger as well. And always serve your salad next to your burger, your piece of watermelon salad, which is amazing. So you have all these flavor combinations, and guys, you're not gonna miss anything in this meal. You have so many great flavors in here. I have my lettuce there, and I'm gonna have a little bit of my fries. Okay, here you have it. This is a plate that is not missing absolutely anything. You have colors, you have textures, you have sweetness, tanginess, saltiness, crunchiness. You have everything. Every component has flavor and is being taken care of. You have been treating them with love and respect, right? And giving them their space in the plate. They will all shine. That's the amazing thing. So this is the class for today, and thank you so much for being here. You're going to be receiving the recipes and the photos of the class, and I hope to see you next time in a few weeks. Thank you so much. Good night.